Hey there, guys. Okay, we're going to do another one of these videos where we stare at a screen of handsome men. This is actually a screenshot from the movie Sneakers, in case you guys were wondering what this was all about. So anyways, this is going to be kind of a continuation on from the previous video. I wanted to do it a little bit sooner, but I was sick, and you can kind of tell in my voice I'm still a little bit stuffy and just a head cold, but you guys shouldn't worry because I'm socially distanced and wearing a mask, so let not your heart be troubled. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to set up your device to run on your MQTT, on our MQTT broker, or anybody's MQTT broker, but we're going to go over how to do that. So we're going to do this with two different ones. The first one we're going to do is going to be where we connect it to a Wi-Fi network. And it's going to be your Wi-Fi network that you probably have at your house or business or wherever. And the other one is going to be on a phone for like a mobile connection, so that, you know, as you're driving around, or you know, you're mobile, you're not attached to a building or a house somewhere with Wi-Fi, you can still have all the added benefits of joining an MQTT. All right, so if you have a device that is a ESP32 device, if you're not sure if your device is an ESP32, Meshtastic.org will let you know what device it is that you bought, and you basically look under ESP32 and see if your device is listed there. If it's not, see if it's listed under one of the other ones, and I'll tell you which type of setup you should do. We're going to be doing our ESP32 Wi-Fi setup on the command line, the CLI, whatever you want to call it. So the reason we're doing this is because with the ESP32 you can either have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, and if you enable Wi-Fi, it severs your Bluetooth connection. If something goes wrong where it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi router, like the Wi-Fi router isn't in range, or the password's wrong, or the name of the router itself is wrong, you're going to basically create a brick, because you're not going to be able to get into it through Bluetooth, and you're not going to be able to get into it to Wi-Fi because it didn't actually connect to Wi-Fi. So we're gonna this way, if something goes wrong, if you mess something up, you make a typo or whatever the case being, you can easily reverse that, and you don't have to like reflash the whole thing and go through all that again. Okay, so I have my ESP32 device, which is just the old school T-beam, you know, the originator. That's what I have on mine, and I'm going to just open up a command prompt here, and the first thing that we're going to do is just type in, I always do this, Meshtastic, and then we're going to give it a dash and a dash, or a hyphen, and then we're going to type the word, or not the word, but the letters info, I-N-F-O. I don't know if that's a word or not. It's more of an abbreviation of a word. I don't know. I have to consort with the Scrabble people. So I'm going to type this just to basically make sure that it's connected and everything looks good here. So there you go. Mine's connected, and it does look good. Sort of. There's a lot of stuff on mine now because they just keep adding to it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn off the Bluetooth. Then we're going to have it enable the Wi-Fi, and we're going to tell it the Wi-Fi router's name and password, so that it can connect to it properly. And, you know, just like your laptop where you got to go in, or your phone, you go in and tell it what the password is. As I said in the one video that we did for the command line prompt, you can string multiple things together. You don't got to do like one at a time and then reboot it. I just did that just to show you guys how it works. But we're going to do this one in one line so that it does everything all at once. So we're going to start with the word Meshtastic. So type in Meshtastic, and then we're going to give it a hyphen or a dash, and we're going to type the word set, S-E-T, and then space, and then network, N-E-T-W-O-R-K, and after network we're going to give it a dot or a period, and then Wi-Fi, W-I-F-I, and then underscore, like that little line that is a dash but it's down low, and the underscore, is that what it's called? Anyway, we're going to do that line, and then we're going to type the word enable. So E-N-A-B-L-E, and I spelled that wrong. Let's try this again. E-N-A-B-L-E-D. So enabled. it's not, it isn't E-N, let me try this again, E-N, got E-N, A-B, got that, LED, enabled, there we go, Wi-Fi, enabled, and then space, and true, T-R-U. Now, if something happens, and your thing doesn't connect, and you lost all connection with the thing, because it's not connected to your Wi-Fi, it's not connected to your Bluetooth, you would simply just change this thing here from true to false. So let me just show you this real fast. So let's just go through this first. So the first line is Meshtastic -- set space network dot Wi-Fi underscore enabled true. Now we're going to go with, again, dash and set, S-E-T, space network, and then this is going to be a dot, and then we're going to type Wi-Fi again, W-I-F-I, underscore, and then SSID, and then a space, and now your SSID is the name that appears in your Wi-Fi list of, Wi-Fi things that are in your area. So, like when you connect to a network, you'd go come over here, and you'd hit the little Wi-Fi thing, and it brings up that screen, and that screen has like all the nearby Wi-Fi things. So whatever name you call your router is what you'd put in here. Now, if your Wi-Fi router name has spaces in it, you want to put it in quotes. So we're just going to, I'm going to pretend that mine does. So I'm going to put a quote, and I'm going to put my Wi-Fi, and then close quotes, because the name of my Wi-Fi is called my Wi-Fi. Okay? Okay. And then after you close those quotes, you're going to give it a space, and we're going to go dash again, and the word set, S-E-T, and then space network again, and then I spelled network wrong, I butchered that one, network, and then dot, and then Wi-Fi, and then underscore, and then PSK, like password sausage king. Yeah. And then a space, and then we're going to enter in our Wi-Fi password. Mine is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 now. Okay. So, just go real quick through this again. So it's Meshtastic space -- set space network dot Wi-Fi underscore enabled true. Well, space true. And then the next code is going to set our actual ID, or the name of the Wi-Fi router that we're connecting to, and that is -- set network dot Wi-Fi underscore SSID, and then space, and if it's got, just put the quotes in there, even if it doesn't have 2 words, it's not going to hurt, and you want to put it in there. And then it's going to be -- set space network dot Wi-Fi underscore PSK, and then you're going to space and then put your Wi-Fi router's password in, okay? And then when you get done with that, if you want to check it, you can, whatever. Go ahead and send it, or hit return and let it go there. And what you're going to get is you're going to say connected to radio, and it's going to say, what it did, and it's, enabled the Wi-Fi, it set the SSID, and it set the password, and then it says writing modified preferences to device. Now, if you cannot get on your router, that didn't connect to the router for whatever reason, your name's wrong, or because my Wi-Fi router really isn't called my Wi-Fi, whatever the case being, to bring this back to a Bluetooth enabled device, if you just press the up arrow, it's going to load that line that you just did, right? And then what we can do here is we can just delete all this out, and then get to the word where it says true, and we can just change that to false. If we change that to false, everything goes right back to the way it was with the Bluetooth, and you can connect to it via Bluetooth. If you know what the problem is, you can obviously go back and edit it that way too, just by pressing the down key and going into the specific part that's bad, like the name or whatever. But if you get screwed and you can't get back into it, that's how you can do that. You just got to go here now and change that true to false, and you'll be back there, and you can try it again. Okay, so that's why we did it in command prompt. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, so now that we have done this in real life, what we're going to do now is we're going to connect to it via the web browser on the computer. Now, it doesn't have to be any specific computer. It's just got to be a computer that is connected to the same Wi-Fi router that the ESP32 device is, your Meshtastic device. In my case, it's my T-Beam. So whatever router, make sure you're on the same network as that. And what you're going to do is, if your device has a screen, if you go over to like the last page there, keep pressing the button until it goes to the last page, you're going to see on there it's going to give you an IP address. Now, there's allegedly, I think you go to like meshtastic.local, and that's supposed to work. It's never worked for me, ever, so I don't do it that way. I get it directly from the device, which will give you the actual IP address. Now, if you don't have a screen on your device, another way that you can get the actual IP address is on your actual router itself. So your router software, everybody has different routers. I can't possibly cover them all, but basically, if you just do a quick search on the internet of like how to access your router and change settings in it, things like that, one of the things it's going to show you is all connected devices. And you find that you basically go through your list of everything that's connected to your device, and when you see the thing that looks like the Meshtastic, you're going to go to that, and it's going to give you an IP address, and that's the IP address that you're going to type in. Now, I have not tried this yet, but I've heard that you cannot do that with a Chrome, with the web browser Chrome. Chrome is not compatible with this. I have not tested that out. I don't have Chrome. I don't really use Windows really, except for this kind of stuff. So my Windows computer here has Microsoft Edge on it. Microsoft Edge does work, but I've heard, like I said, Chrome does not work. So if you're trying to do this on a Chromebook, well, I guess it's not a surprise to you this stuff doesn't work. But yeah, if you download Chrome and you submit yourself to that abuse in the first place, that's not going to work. So you might want to get a different browser, or just use the one that came with it. In this case, I have Microsoft Edge on my Windows 10 computer, and it's there, and that's where it has been. And I'm going to go to my IP address that my device is. I already know what it is, so I have a screen on mine. So here's mine. My IP address is 192.168. Is it actually going to come up? No. That would be handy, huh? .1.96. Okay, that came up. That's good. So this is what you're going to get when you log in. So you're going to get a screen that looks like this. And then if we click on this new connection here, it's going to bring up this window. You hit connect, and then you can hit the little X up here if you want to, or just click anywhere on the screen, and it's gonna close. And what you're going to see here is that it logs onto your thing like it normally would. Now I have a little issue here, so I'm going to do is just erase these peers so that you don't think that this is fake news. So let's go here to peer reset, and this is going to reboot. And in the meantime, so I just want to get rid of this node right here because it's not actually it's not supposed to be there. Okay, I'm just going to refresh this, and we'll while the thing is still booting up, so this is going to take a second here while it boots up and then connects back to the Wi-Fi, and then okay, so new connections, and then that node will be gone, and we'll see what really happens when this all happens, when this all works. So I hit connect here, and then I close this out. So this is our Meshtastic device, and we don't have any nodes connected to us currently because we are not friendly, and we don't have anybody nearby. So what we're going to do is we are going to connect to a MQTT Broker, and again, hopefully there's people on our MQTT broker that we can talk to and network with and everything else. So how we do this is, and it doesn't matter whose MQTT broker it is, if you check out our page, you can, we never really wanted to connect Nova Radio Systems with any of this stuff, but unfortunately there's no way for us to forward a port, and this is probably Greek to some of you, but in order for us to do what we did, it has to be tied to a actual website. We can't give you an IP address and a port that you could go to. When we did that, the app was just crashing. So we actually had to put it on a website. And we already had this domain name, this website. So that's where we attached it to the Nova Radio Systems. Other than that, this has nothing to do with anything with Nova Radio Systems other than we needed a place to park it and we needed a actual name to put it behind, and this is the name that we chose. If we had another, I mean, it could have been McDonald's that did it, but we don't own McDonald's website, so we couldn't do that. So okay, so to set this up now, Nova Radio, it's novaradiosystems.com/mesh. And I'm just going to pull this up real fast just so you guys can kind of see what this is going to look like. So you go to novaradiosystems.com/mesh. And this is just a brief overview on, what it is and, why we did what we did and that kind of stuff. This screen right here is all just kind of some things that you should be aware of, and I don't know, you want to call them terms of service, I guess. You can't plot to assassinate a president or do anything illegal on it. But when you come to this screen here, you're going to get the broker actual address of what you're going to put in. You're going to get the username that you guys are going to use. You're going to get the password that you guys are going to use. And then you figure out where you live. I'm like, dude, I live in Alaska. Okay, so Alaska's right here. It's AK. And so on and so on. And any of these these two-digit ones are going to be, we're going to put these in the topic, but they're case sensitive. So when you put them in there, I have it right here too. So Connecticut CT with all caps is different than lowercase ct, or it's different than capital C lowercase t. So even though those are the same letters, those are actually three different topics. So if somebody's in CT and somebody's in CT and the other person's in CT and they're different capitalized and lowercase letters, they won't be able to see each other. They're going to be in their own little world, their own little topic. And I don't believe if you put a lowercase or whatever, I don't think you'll actually be able to connect to anything because you have to have it capitalized. I think we got you locked into that. So I'm pretty sure you have to capitalize it, but you won't know, you just won't see anything, and you're going to say, it doesn't work, when it does. Okay, so this is the screen that's going to give you all your login information on it. So we're going to just take our screen here and memorize it, and we're going to go over to here, and we're going to click on config, and then what we're interested in this module config down here. The first thing that pops up is MQTT. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to click on that to enable it. That looks horrible. Let me kick this over to dark mode. See, Ben and Garth, you guys did an awesome job with this. Everything you could do is thought out, and it works great. So you can see I just changed this into dark mode. It's probably a lot nicer on your eyes than it was like this. All right, so we'll do it from like this from now on for you guys. So all right, so we're going to enable MQTT, and then this is where we're going to actually put the server. Now in our case, it's I'm going to use the Nova Radio System server. If you have your own server, or somebody else has a server out there, or you want to use the default Meshtastic one, it's already in there, but if you need to put it back in, this is where you would type the server. So ours is mqtt.novaradiosystems.com. Okay, and then our username, your username is USOPS, and those are all lowercase. It's short for U.S. Operations, which isn't anything tactical. It's just our we're only doing this for the United States and the states and the Commonwealths, territories, whatever you want to call them, whatever they're called. I don't even know. Okay, the password is all together, but we got creative with it and we put a number 2 in there. So it's ALL, the number 2, and then GETHER. Okay. All right. When we get down here, we have this enable or disable MQTT encryption. I don't have encryption on anything, so I'm going to leave that off. This Jason, or I think it's Jason, I don't know what it's supposed to be, how you say it, because I'm not a computer guy, but that's something, and I leave it off. And I'll show you what happens if you turn it on, if you stay tuned to the very end of this video and you want to watch how the sausage is made. We will get into that. This one here, this TLS enable, is going to be left off. And what we're going to do here is we're going to now pick our topic, which is our state, right? So whatever state you're in. Give me a state. Anybody, what state are you in? Okay, I heard Texas in there. I heard it. I heard somebody say Texas. So we're going to go over to our list here, and we're going to go Texas, 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 Texas. I hope if you live in Texas, you know your state's postal, whatever you want to call it. But Texas is TX. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to type in capital T, capital X. Okay? Alrighty. So Texas is in the house. Now, we're going to come up here, and we're going to hit save. Now, when we hit save, there's another area that we have to do. Now, the node is going to reboot because it's going to save all this information. It's still not going to connect to the MQTT broker because we have not enabled any channels yet. So we're going to do that next. I just want to make sure that this thing rebooted and we're back on here. So I'm just going to hit refresh real fast, and I always do this. I recommend you guys do this too. Hit refresh and then check to make sure. If it didn't take, you're going to know immediately. Now I can see the node is currently still rebooting, so this won't load until it finishes doing its thing. Where is it? I think I froze it. I think I killed it. Oh, there it is. Okay, it should load now. Bam, there it is. All right, so we're going to go new devices and or your new connection or whatever it was, and then this one here, just click over here, and we're going to go to config. We're going to go to change this back so I'm not burning anybody's pupils out, and make sure that everything took. So see, this is on now. We have our address for the broker in there. We have our username and password, and we have our topic. Oh, this thing here, keep this one off and for this type of setup. Just so you know, this proxy to client enabled. So we already saved it, and you click this disk to save it. We did that. Everything's good. Now what we're going to do is go over here to channels. We're going to click on channels, and you got your primary, and if you have an admin or any other channels that are on, you have the option to send those through the broker. In this case, only one I'm going to send is my primary channel through the broker. And you just come down here and you enable it. So you enable uplink, which means it'll send to, and this one here will enable downlink, which means it'll send to the mesh. This one sends from the mesh, okay? And it actually explains it right there. So now we're going to go and hit submit, and it's going to save that. And I believe it does a reboot. And I'm looking. I don't know if it did. Maybe not. But anyways, once that does what it's going to do, you should connect to that now. Alrighty, guys. So full disclosure, what I did here while we were away, I logged into this MQTT broker, but I did not use the US Ops username and password. Reason being is because US Ops doesn't have anybody on it yet. I'm currently looking at it, and there's nobody connected because nobody knows about it because this is the first video that we kind of did about this. So there isn't anybody that I can show you and how it works and what it looks like and everything else. So what I did was I used my super computer access abilities, and I'm on a different topic that nobody else can get to because it's a test topic. And this test topic is, again, it's controlled environment, right? This test topic, this other mesh network that is, I think it's either 140 or 170 miles away. I'm not getting into it from RF because it's too far away. And it's a zero hop network. There's a couple nodes there. I'm not sure how many of them actually have batteries in them right now, but you're going to see a couple more nodes pop up. So one of them is definitely going to be like a node that you'd carry around, and the other one is going to be like this one where it's connected to Wi-Fi, and it's not really mobile. It's just a gateway, and it just kind of hangs out in the building. And anybody with a node in the building is walking around with their node connected to their device, whether it's a phone or a tablet or something. It's going to hop messages from this gateway to their device, and so on and so on. So yeah, so let's just connect to it, our node here. And like I said, just full disclosure, I'm not on any of the state ones. So here we see right now we have two nodes that just popped up. Those nodes were not there previous because these ones are coming through the MQTT Broker, okay? And this is actually, it's in Volney, New York. And I'm in Angola, New York. Evans, the town of Evans is near the village of Angola. Anyways, it's about it's over 100 miles away. So we are now connected to these two, basically on the other side of the state. And I don't know if it sent any telemetries as far as, no, it didn't. Okay, so that's just our one node. To give you an idea here, I'll zoom way out. If those of you that are familiar with New York State, so we're over here near Buffalo, and these nodes this is Syracuse. They're kind of up in this area up here. So this is a couple, probably, it's over 140 miles. Maybe it's 100, I don't know. Whatever way the crow flies. We'll measure it another time. It's not really important, but these nodes right here, these two nodes are over there. They're just not, they haven't sent out any coordinates as far as where they are in the couple seconds that we've been connected to this MQTT Broker. So this is what you'd see, and this is how you'd be able to communicate. So you can communicate over the primary channel, which of course sends them to everybody that's on the primary channel. So if I send a message right now, both of these nodes would get it. But if I want to send it specifically to a specific node, I would just click on that node. For example, Volney 1. See, here's another node coming up. It just hasn't populated yet. It will. So if I go here and I type in a message, it's only going to direct message whoever it is that has this node right here. Now I know that this node here is connected to the gateway, and then it's feeding this one here. I'm not sure which node this one's going to be just yet, but yeah, this is my current mesh network, in that now I'm connected to an MQTT. Okay, so let's see here. Go back to channels here. Maybe that one will eventually populate, and we can get some more stuff. So this is a basic setup for an MQTT on the web browser. If you're leaving it in your house because you want to have a house node and you have an ESP32 device and you want to connect to Wi-Fi and you don't want to be able to walk around with it and all that. And as I was saying about the compatibilities with these, so this particular, I'm using Microsoft Edge, which is on Windows, and it does work. There's some that don't. If you are using a Mac, we have a Mac right here. The native browser on the Mac, the Safari, it does not work. Safari will not work for that. However, Mozilla is Foxfire. That one will work. So this is using it on Foxfire, and again, it's just like the other one. Okay, so that's Techo, maybe a T Echo one. Okay, so just like it's just like Edge. Also, Brave. Brave is is another free browser that you can download, and it does work on Brave as well. It doesn't work on like iCab, and as I said, Safari, and those are specifically for the Mac OS. If you have a non-Mac computer like Windows, for example, Edge does work. I haven't tested every browser, but Edge does work. That's what we were just looking at. It was in Microsoft Edge. All right, so let me just switch gears here now.